I think what happens is we don't check in with each other properly. We read people wrong. It's about our internal thoughts about what we think that person is, or how we think that person feels, or how we think that person feels about us, and we're ignoring body language itself. Period. I think people do it all the time, but we most especially do it with our dogs, right? We have. And I think what happens is people have this dog that's at home with them, and they love them so much, and they're their family members, and they're their child, and they can do no wrong. And then we get out in a social setting with other people or other dogs, and we have held on to that idea that this is our daughter or our son or our loved one, and we're not paying attention to how they react with everybody else, their environment, other dogs, and other people. The biggest one I get all the time, well, what I see people doing and recognize that very, very few dogs are socialized anymore. They're oblivious. They've had absolutely no real, true, proper socialization. So I go, like, my worst nightmare is a dog park. It's horrendous. I can't handle it. People allow these, the last time I went to a dog park, my blue heeler...
I'm going to go close the gate.
Okay, my blue heeler is very well socialized. He will not get in anybody else's space. He will not approach another dog that isn't approachable. He knows he can read it very clearly. What happens is they don't read him clearly, and they bound into his space, and they jump on top of him, and he gets them. Well, then they're after me. Your dog isn't socialized. I said, oh, heck no, sister. My dog did exactly what a dog does. He clearly got them out of his space, and he would never have approached your dog and did that if your dog wasn't a total fool and just left on top of his back. So what happens is we go out, and, I'm at the dog park, and big lab like Dexter is leaping on my 6-year-old and knocking her to the ground and running amok and acting like a total fool. And that person is thinking, oh, that's so cute, he's so happy, he's having so much fun, don't. And he knocks my daughter to the ground. She still has a scar, like a millimeter from her eyeball, where he could have taken her eyeball out. She still has a huge scar on her face. Don't worry, he's friendly. Well, I don't care if he's friendly or not. It didn't stop him from removing her eyeball from her head. It doesn't matter if he's friendly or not. That's totally inappropriate behavior. So a lot of people let them get away with, oh, don't worry, he's really friendly. I don't care if he's really friendly. He still needs to have proper socialization. So they let their dogs get away with murder. The other big one I hear all the time is, oh, he's wagging his tail, it's fine. Okay, a wagging tail is not a happy dog all the time. We associate with wagging tail as friendly and happy. That's absolutely 150% not the case. Most calls that I get for an extremely human or dog aggressive dog, when you approach that dog, his tail is wagging. And let me tell you, he ain't happy to see me. He'll take my arm off if I approach him incorrectly. So that's the first one to lose. If you're out with your dog at a dog park or going for a walk and the other dog is wagging his tail, or your dog is wagging his tail, that's a sign of excitement. It is not a sign that it's okay to let your dog approach that dog. That's the first one.
What does the tail do when it's okay to approach that dog?
It does nothing usually. Like if I'm out and I'm with my dogs and if it's slowly wagging, if you've got a long tail, like a German Shepherd, say, or a Lab, that tail can rest down, not like a Husky or something whose tail is raised. A really excited, now, and it can be happy, but a really excited wave when everything else about the dog seems approachable, I would not let my dog approach. Simply because, not because it's necessarily unfriendly, but simply because there's way too much energy involved that something can change and you're setting yourself up for failure. Too much energy. Same thing as with the feeding. Same thing as with the walking. I'll let my dog approach, and I don't care if we're walking up and the tail is going. If I get there and I'm going to go let them approach, I won't approach until that dog's tail. I don't care if it's wagging a little bit, but there's a definite difference between, oh, I'm happy to see you, and so I would not allow my dog to approach until the energy of the situation died down. And it's all about energy, really. The tail wagging, the ears, right? I'm not going to let my dog approach yours if we're like this. I'd like to see him like this. I don't want him back. Back is insecurity. A lot of time it's aggression, but 85% of aggressive cases are fear cases. You rarely have an aggressive case that you cannot backtrack and find fear. That's usually where it starts.
So that smells like the other day we went to the vet, and it's the first time I'd seen that her ears were pinned back, and she was cowering underneath my chair, and I thought, whoa, what was that? Never seen her do it.
Mm.
And it was a very large, very big dog,
Mm-hmm.
and she was hiding underneath my chair with her ears all the way back. Whoa, you're scared. I'd never seen her do that.
A well-balanced dog will never rush up to another dog, ever. It would never happen in the wild. A well-balanced dog, it may be happy to see the other dog, it may be curious about the other dog, but it will approach in a really well-balanced, calm fashion. If they're rushing toward each other, it's a disaster waiting to happen. It won't always happen that way, but it very well could happen that way.